All right, guys, let me see if we're really doing it this time. This is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. And let me just see if I can. We're having a lot of technical problems today, in case if you are new. This does not usually happen. I think there's been a change. Let me see. Oh, it's working. Glory, hallelujah. Let me go ahead and add the mic. This was only my fifth try. There. Okay. Testing. Okay, good. The microphone is working. Phew. Hi, everybody. This is Bonnie Barker. And golly, 10 minutes. Let me tell you something. Fridays are very, very important to me. I spend my entire Friday morning preparing for this. And as you all know, technically, things usually pretty much go off without a glitch. But there has been updates to YouTube. I'm going to blame this one on YouTube. Yeah, I'm going to blame Shift this morning. And there are two big blue buttons. One says done and the other says go live. And YouTube added another screen that says for me to tag my products. But what happened is they are superimposed on one another on the screen. So when you try to push go live, it takes you to another page. So the only way that I could tap the button is if I tilted the phone a little bit, tapped it, and then tilted it back. And of course, that shifts the orientation completely off. So, you software developers behind the scenes at YouTube, you need to fix this because we crocheters need our Friday fun. So, anyway, praise God that somehow I got this thing to work. Um, Probably it wasn't me. It was probably, yeah, probably the Lord or something because it was not me. But I did make a quick screenshot of everybody who was in that very first attempt, and I just wanted to try to shout out hi to Susan B. I did save them because I knew they would disappear as soon as I tried again. And Hannah, thank you for helping me trying to get my orientation. That was not the issue, but I know you were just trying to help there, sweetheart. Um, anyway, with progress, you're gonna get glitches and things like that. But anyway, and just want to say hey to Dawn from Yankton, South Dakota. She says it's raining there, and Kelly Hart. I did read all your messages before this thing blew up, honey. So thinking of you. Congratulations on your nephew Roy, who's graduating from college. That's fantastic. Um, yeah, and Brad's mom. So great to have you in the chat as always. Was thinking of you this morning in my prayer list. She's joining us from a southwest Chicago suburbs. And she said, Daisy May wants me to remind everyone to smash that button. So if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Um, and see, Love to Craft was in that earlier chat. I wanted to say hi to you. And Red Hooked and Jewel Good. That's a new name for me. So welcome. If you're new to our channel, welcome so much from all of us here. And Denise, she says, looking forward to today's live. I hope you're still with us, Denise. I'm sorry again for all that happened there. And I tried to screenshot the others. Michelle from Helena, Montana, and and again, Hannah, thank you so much for doing that translation work for us in the chat, in the earlier chat. I did see that and screenshot that. And Izzy from Austria, and yeah, Michelle M. See Josie. Yeah, she's like, are we still waiting? Yeah, Josie, you might have been there on the tail end of the little bit of the mayhem there, but hopefully I'm gonna let YouTube know what's going on, and hopefully they can fix that little glitch there. It's just again superimposed things, two things that I had to pick them, and I tried tapping that go live so many times, and it just kept taking me to the wrong place. So anyway, okay, well let's get past that. All right, and again, Hannah, thank you for trying to communicate there with me. Let me go ahead and change my chat to live chat so I get everybody's comments, not just the one the computer algorithm selects. Um, And if you don't see all the comments or your comments, that could be what you need to do is go to the chat section and hit live chat. And I do want to say up front, if for some reason you cannot comment, make sure that you are signed in to your YouTube account. That just gives a little bit of accountability for everybody. And if for some reason your comment doesn't show up even when you're signed in, sometimes the algorithm will filter some things out due to word selection. And sometimes this algorithm is not real keen or familiar with some of our lingo in the crafting world. So please don't take offense if that happens to you. Just try again or change the word it a different way, and you should be fine. Archer Nace, thank you so much for your donation. You're going to be starting us off. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and write that down so I don't forget, because my brain does not work all that well. All right, so this is going to be going to our next donation. We're going to start off with $10 towards that next crochet song or something of the future here. But thank you so much for contributing. And for those of you who aren't familiar with what we do with donations, I donate the super chat to either one of two places, either Rancho 3M, which is a Christian school and orphanage in Guadalupe, Mexico, and the other is Shriners Hospital for Children, which gives free medical care, orthopedic care for children. And two people in our little community have been patients there, and plus my mother-in-law, who was a patient there more than 90 years ago. So these people have been doing good for a long, long time, and we want to make sure that they are helping in a way that we can so they can continue to do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm looking at the new chat here. Oh, this has been crazy. Denise and Alana, so good to see you. Glad you guys made it over to the 5th attempt here, I believe. And Michelle M. and Swati's, good to see you in the chat. And Margita, so good to see you too. And Shelly. Oh, good. Shelly says, other channels have had similar problems. It's not just you. Thank you for letting me know that. So I'm glad you all can hear that too. I can, I promise you, I'm not a kid computer genius, but I work with these things all day long, every day, 7 days a week, really. Although I don't work 7 days a week, but I'm, on these things, these devices. I do a lot of online stuff, a lot of video editing. I do it all. So I know it's like, this thing should have worked. But again, I think they rolled something new out, and we just need to figure it out in the next couple weeks. But thank you for telling me that, Shelly. Joanne, she says, hooray, we are all here. Yeah, we made it. Thank you. She says, thank you, Jesus. Amen. And Alma from Spring, Texas. Yay, Alma. Yeah, Swati was asking too about if the phone was locked and why the orientation was wrong. No, it wasn't that. It was something else that I've already explained. Yeah. That's the first thing Hannah said. I don't lock my orientation on my phone ever, because I'm afraid I might not know how to undo that. But I don't ever really do that. But anyway, but thank you for the thought on that. And Kelly is back with us from Tucson, Arizona. And Wannabe Crocheter or Knitter is with us. Hey, it's good to see you, Wanda. And Joanne from Palmdale, California. And Go Baby 23. Oh, she's so sweet. She said to my friend, oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. And yes, an abundance of blessings to all, definitely. And Shelly made it back from Scotland. Welcome, welcome. And before I forget, I want to wish all of you all a happy Mother's Day coming up this Sunday. I almost forgot about it. That day just comes and goes so quickly. So just wish you all, a wonderful day. Those of you who are moms, and if you, your mom is still with you and on this earth, make sure that you bless her. That's not a manipulation at all for you, Hannah. I'm just saying, for those of you whose moms are still with you, do what you can to honor them, and just try to bless them. I know you will. I know you've probably been thinking about that for months, but just want to wish you all the best. And yeah, it's always kind of a weird day for me because my mom is with the Lord, and but I do have Craig's mom to celebrate with, and I'm a mom, and I have my daughter, and my one of my daughter-in-laws is going to be a mom. They are moms. They just haven't met their baby yet, so we're really excited about that. This will be their first kind of official Mother's Day, so we're happy about that. And let's see. And we have Sherry. She said, "Hi everyone. Glad you have everything fixed." Well, we're we're still hoping, Sherry. We'll see how this goes. And Josie says, "Happy Friday, everyone. I'm glad the techie stuff was solved." Oh, she said, "This is my favorite day of the week." Me too, Josie. I get to hang out with you guys, and I can't think of anything I'd rather do. Well, I can think of some things, but you guys are on that top of that list, and I will never, 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 never forget coming through that pandemic with you guys, because that you guys were my social hour for the entire week because we were all boxed in, and I tell you that just means so much to me. Which reminds me, that's going to be part of what I'm going to be sharing at the upcoming Crochet Business Summit. There are no links in the video description currently because I had all that set up and it's gone because I had to restart this 4 times or 5 times. But anyway, I will have the video if you're watching the rebroadcast. The video links will be here, and if you're interested in what I'm about to say, check back after the live, and I'm going to put those links back in as soon as I can. But this May 24th through the 26th, what I'm going to tell you all is very important. I'm going to be one of the speakers at the Crochet Business Summit. This is an online seminar, and that's with the Crochetpreneur, Pam Grice, if some of you have seen her online. If you are someone who wants to get into a crochet business, you want to learn how to start a crochet business, or you want to improve your current either crochet or even just crafting in general business, this is a must do for you guys. It's not for everybody, but if you want to learn more about how to do well, how to not waste your time on things in a small business that involves crafts, I would encourage you to sign up for the Crochet Business Summit with the Crochetpreneur. Again, I will have the links added to that video description as soon as I finish today. I believe it is I think it's around $99. It's an investment. It is an investment, but she has a wealth of information, and she also has a continuing academy that you can also join. That is another investment, but it will save you hours and years off of your life trying things and failing. I've done a little bit of that, so I know what works and what doesn't work, and I've learned the hard way. But she has a lot of really helpful information. So if that's something you're interested in, I want you to check back and get that link that I will have in the video description. But I did my homework, and I did write down the classes that I'm teaching. I just want to go ahead. I'll talk a little bit about one of them, then I'll talk about the others in a bit. But I am going to be teaching at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. This is August 24th through the 26th. I will be teaching classes on the 25th and the 26th. And these are the classes that I'm going to be teaching. On August 25th, I'll be teaching beginning knitting for crocheters. Oh, thank you, Deirdre. Is it Deirdre? Darlene, I'm sorry. Darlene, thank you so much. My goodness, she just sent in a $20 for our super chat. So that brings us up to 30. Thank you so much for doing that. But let me get back to tell you the case. So I'm going to be teaching at Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, beginning knitting for crocheters. And I'm going to go slow with this. You're going to learn how to cast on, how to knit, how to purl. And I don't assume that you know anything about knitting in these classes. It's very basic. So if you already know how to knit, you need to probably look at some of the other classes that are going to be available there. Another class I'm going to be teaching is I Love Crochet Cables. And that is an intermediate level class. I'm going to assume that you know the basic stitches in this. We're not going to have time to teach crochet. This is learning how to do front post, back post, and crossing cables and doing all sorts of things. Then I'm going to also be teaching fun crochet fabric for beginners. This is for somebody who knows how to do the basic stitches, but they're ready to learn some new techniques like the ripple. I don't know if I'm covering granny. I don't think I'm covering granny square in here, but we're going to be doing the ripple. We'll be doing shell stitches and basket weave, learning how to create new fabric. And the fourth class I'll be teaching is big and bold cables. And that again is an intermediate level class where we learn how to make the thicker, wider cables. And that's using the special technique that I've developed over the years. So that is in Pittsburgh, August 24th through the 26th. I hope to see you there. I'm going to tell you about some other classes too, but if you're in the Pittsburgh area, quite honestly, or Pittsburgh, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia area, because Pittsburgh's kind of, within a half a day's drive. The parking is going to be easy to get to. It's at a hotel in a suburb called Green Tree, and parking is not an issue. It's free. There's going to be a lot of yarn available, yarn trucks, and it's the most economically priced venue that I'll be teaching at all year. The classes are really priced economically. I'll just say that. So if that's something you want, definitely check those out. And there's gonna be a lot of other great classes there. Knitting and spinning and weaving. It covers everything. So check those out if you can. Hannah sent me a question. Wants to know if Kelly wants to know if I'm excited to be a grandma. Yeah, I am, Kelly. I'm thankful. It's not something that I've pressured my kids into, ever, but I'm very thankful. And I feel like my heart's going to have to get bigger because I feel like it's a lot more to trust the Lord for with other children. I feel like I'm having children again. So we will see. We were, going to trust that the pregnancies go well. We know that we're not out of the woods yet on that. So just trusting the Lord for whatever, He has for our family. And yeah, we're looking forward to meeting these new lives. So if you can think about it, if you can pray for my girls, I would be very blessed if you could do that, just for safe deliveries and for, God's provision for them. All right. Thank you. That's a great question too, Kelly. And let's see. Oh, we have Wendy. Wendy, so good to see you. My friend from Hagerstown, at the yarn shop. And yeah, if you guys check out, I have a video on my channel where I give a little tour. I took some pictures. I had some technical difficulties there too, but that was totally different, totally unrelated. But I enjoyed meeting Wendy. Looking forward to visiting that yarn store again. And Wendy, I can't wait to show you what I'm working on. The dress is about 75% finished, and I'm just working on some beaded trim for the yoke. So I'm really excited. I hope to bring it and show it to you next time we get together. All right. Donna, so good to have you here. She says, hello, Bonnie, Hannah, and everyone from Ohio. Hope you're well and happy. Yes, ma'am. I'm especially thankful that this live even got started. And Izzy says, once more, hello from Austria. So glad you made it back, Izzy. And Wanda, so glad you made it back too. She says, today I'm in sunny California. I'm visiting my son and his family. That is fantastic. Wanda, I hope you soak in every bit of that sunshine out there and have a great time with your family. I know it's been a rough year for you. And Jen Snow, welcome to the channel. And Red Hook, so good to see you too. And she says it's a beautiful sunny northeast day in Ohio. Northeast Ohio, yeah. And Margita is back with us. And Sophie is back with us. I don't know if that means you're from Ireland, but I love the clover. And Jeanette, welcome to our channel. And let's see. Yeah, thank you, Hannah. She says, hi, everyone who's here. Glad to see everyone hanging out and determined to spend time with us, regardless of the hiccups. Yes, of which we had many. Uh, and yeah, thank you, Denise. And Phil, good to have you from Dallas, Texas. Since you're from Dallas, let me put a little plug in for Dallas. The Dallas Fort Worth Fiber Fest will be coming to Irvine, Texas, September 14th through the 17th. And I did my homework and I wrote down the classes that I will be teaching there. I'm going to be teaching two new classes. One, I'm going to be teaching I Love Crochet Cables. That's one of my standard classes. The big and bold cables, just like in Pittsburgh. That's a standard class. Both of those are intermediate level classes, like I said before. I'm also going to be teaching a brand new class called Tassels, Fringe, and Other Knotty Trims, as in Knotty, knotty trims. And another class, Taking Great Photos of Your Crochet. And the tassels and fringe and the taking great photos of your crochet, both of those are open to anybody. It's not necessarily, you don't have to be an intermediate, or you don't even have to be a crocheter to take either of those classes. I'm really excited about the photography class. And for that class, you don't have to, go out and buy a fancy camera or anything. But I think it's a very basic photography class, but there are some things that I've learned from working online, social media, videography and whatnot. We're not going to get a lot into videography in that class, but mostly on how to do basic photography with what you have. And if all that you have is your cell phone, you are totally equipped and invited to this class. So again, those are going to be in the DFW, which is for Dallas Fort Worth Fiberfest, September 14th through the 17th. And I'm really looking forward to that. Found out my sister is going to be flying out with me. Yay! So we're going to have some serious girl time when I'm not working. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And let's see, we have Pauline. Good to see you in the chat. And Mrs. Debbie LW. Excuse me. Izzy says she was trying hard. Yeah, yeah. And and Go Baby 23 says Kathy Joe from Long Island, New York. Well, so glad you made it back to this. You found this again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Mary Ann from Malta. Whoa. I'm not sure we've had anybody from Malta before. So glad that you're with us. Okay, I just had a lot of things load here. And okay, we have MN Custom Made from, okay, thought that was Minnesota. Excuse me. From North Central Minnesota. And they say it's beautiful outside. Barbara, I'm so glad it's beautiful there. I imagine it's cold there a lot when I think of Minnesota. And Roxanne, a beautiful day here in Washington State. Fantastic. It's a beautiful day here too. In fact, yesterday I walked quite a bit. I walked down to a store and back, dodging the cars in some places. Dodging the cars, and if for those of you from South Carolina know about this, dodging the fire ant piles, just kind of be careful about my footing. But I just had to get out and just had to do some walking yesterday and had a really, really nice walk. Found out that my sweat glands still work. Got a little warm, but it was great. And we have Roxanne. Okay, Roxanne from Washington State. And Susan B. Yep, I am glad it's fixed too. And Brad's mom is back with us. Yay. And Charla. She said, hi, Bonnie. This is my first time to watch you live. I'm sorry, Charla, that you had to go through all our ups and downs here with the connections and all, but glad that you made it to your first live with us. And thank you for your kind comments. You said, I love that you are a believer in Christ. I would not know what to do without my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Charla. I would not know what to do, but I'm so thankful on so many levels. Yes, ma'am. And Denise says, I finished the Abigail baby blanket Wednesday night and it turned out beautiful. I really loved making this blanket. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, my pleasure. I thank you guys for that blanket because it was some of you who asked me to make the Abigail shawl into a baby blanket. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Just a little bit of math or maybe a lot of math. And away we go. Yeah. And thank you, Hannah, for greeting everybody so, so well. And thank you, Kelly. Thank you for the happy Mother's Day wish. I so appreciate that. Yeah, Denise. Yeah, thank you for that. She's talking about sending pictures. If you ever want to share pictures with me on social media, or if you want me to share your photos on my social media, and I love doing that, all you need to do is send them to me, bonniebay@me.com. And I know some of you send them to Instagram, to Messenger to me, which is fantastic, but I can't take them from Messenger and share them. I mean, I can, but what happens in Messenger is it compresses the image so much to where it's going to be really fuzzy and hard to see the stitching. So what I also often recommend is if you want to send me a picture, which again, I love to get these, send it to me to my email, bonniebay@me.com, and then I can share it. And if you want, and there's no pressure to do that. Or you can just post them on your Facebook page, and if you link or what do you call it, tag me on it. That was the problem with going live today is the camera wanted me to tag something else, but it was overlapping. But anyway, I'm digressing there. But yeah, if you want to just send it to my email, bonniebay@me.com. Once this video is done, the links will be put back in, and I'll have that link there for you to see as well. Okie dokie. Let me see what else I have. So you may wonder what's going on with this. I want to show you this. This is what I tried to feature in my thumbnail today. I am working on the Inishman Poncho, and I'm slightly redesigning it to be a little bit longer and a little bit wider, and I just widened the Celtic weave section. So I have what this is a paneled poncho where you make a panel and you fold it about this much, and then you add the other panel to the other side, so you end up with the other one go on the other side, so you end up with a poncho. So this is a pattern that I've had in my store for a while, and I just felt like it needed some serious updating. So I am in the process of updating it, and I never filmed a video for the tutorial. So I have what's that, Hannah? I have gone ahead and started filming this, and I am about 75% done on the filming process. Of course, I need to do the construction and all that. Yeah, Hannah says I'm a little out of focus. Sorry about that, Hannah. That could be the broadcast speed coming from my end here, since we're on a slower internet system. But yeah. Well, thank you, Hannah, for your encouragement. But anyway, so this will be coming. I don't have a date when I'm going to be releasing this. It'll probably be closer towards the end of the summer, moving into the fall, because I know people don't really want to think about crocheting warm things in the summertime. I know some of us do. Those of us who craft for special gifts for the holidays and so forth. But generally, we're the exception to the rule. So this will be something that'll be rolled out in the fall, and looking forward to do that. Okay, got your message, Hannah. Good. What else do I have to share with you? Let me share with you about some more classes I'll be teaching. I'll be teaching, Lord willing, at the Interweave Yarn Fest in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Yay! August 2nd through the 5th. So early August, I'll be in Lancaster, PA. The end of August, I'll be in Pittsburgh, PA. So in Lancaster is a beautiful area. That's where you have a lot of Amish farms and people living there. If you've never been to that area, I think it's worth going just to enjoy the homemade food. And the food in a lot of these Lancaster Amish own and run restaurants is amazing. It's, yeah, amazing. Everything really is fresh, farm, baked, made, and they have a lot of people who sell handmade quilts. I mean, it's just a lovely area. Lots of farmland. If you've never been there, and we're going to be having an interweave yarn festival, and these are the classes I'm going to be teaching. There is a long list. Now, if the classes don't get a minimum, there's a chance they would be canceled. But I have a list of 8 classes. I'll read them. Um, I love crochet cables, big and bold crochet cables. Both of those again are intermediate classes. I'm going to be teaching an absolute beginner's crochet class called Let's Learn to Crochet. That's if you have a friend that you want to travel with who knows nothing about crochet and they want to learn, bring them along and sign them up for my class. Um, and we're going to be doing fun crochet fabric for beginners. Again, for beginners who know the basic stitches. You have to at least know that, but it's kind of like the next step. I'm going to be teaching the tassels, fringe, and other knotty trims. That again is anybody can take that class. I'm going to be teaching 4 ways to crochet the traditional granny square. That that would be for basically confident beginners and above, and whoever doesn't know how to do the granny square. I'm going to show you 4 different ways you can do those. And I'm going to be teaching the taking great photos of your crochet there as well, which again anybody can take, and you can really apply that to just taking great photos in general. But it's again, very basic. If you've worked for National Geographic, don't bother taking this class. Okay, you'd be teaching it if you show up. But yeah. So anyway, so that's pretty much all the announcements that I have at the moment. Okay, Hannah is sending me some questions. Sophia B is working on the Celtic weave and can't figure out the beginning and ending of the rows. Okay, what can she do to understand it? Sophie, I would say take a look at a couple of my videos, and if that is still confusing, I do. I mean, you can send me photos of your swatching of the samples that you're making, and I can look at it and try to make something of it. Sometimes I can see from the photographs. Sometimes I just have to be there in person. But a lot of times I can see something and kind of say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. I could try to explain it, but it would be probably 30-minute explanation. But I would just encourage you to check out the videos. If you don't know which ones to look at, email me, bonniebay@me.com. I do answer those. I answer them all the time. So send me an email and I will be glad to correspond with you if that would be helpful. And Kelly wants to know, am I going to crochet a nursing blanket for mothers to nurse their babies? Um, I'm not sure about that, Kelly. I I nursed 5 babies and I never needed anything special than just a regular baby blanket. But they may have something on the market now that's extra special. I don't know. But I just would use a receiving blanket, or just be as discreet as possible. But I will take a look at that, and be talking with my daughter and my daughter-in-law. We do hope. My daughter Becky and I are going to be working on a project. I don't want to disclose anything about it because it may not happen for a long time, but let's just say we are in dialogue about things pertaining to babies and to young moms. So I'm sure that will come up, and I can make mention of that to her. Yeah. I just also know that down, if you're in a place um, where it's warm, you probably don't want something made of acrylic. Oftentimes, I would just use a very thin layer of cotton that would just be very helpful to keep the sun, or keep, just kind of not heat either the mom or the baby up too much. That would be the other thing about making let's say a baby acrylic blanket or something, is if it's thick and warm and it's in the summertime, that's not going to be comfortable. But anyway, I will consider that idea. Yeah. Thank you for telling me. Uh, Jacqueline the Fridge is in the chat with us. She says, "Good morning, everyone. Had trouble with live chat. Yes, we did. Having a beautiful Los Angeles day. Excellent." And Kelly's working on a soap saver. She says it's a little hard to do and doing it by heart. Yeah, small items are harder to do. You are right about that, Kelly. And Denise is wishing everybody happy Mother's Day. All right, thank you, Hannah. Um, and Jacqueline, that's so kind of you. Yes, wishing everybody happy Mother's and Mother's to Be Day. And Mary says, "You just can't replace your mom." No, you can't, Mary. I had no idea how much I would miss my mom. Yeah, we got along pretty well. We butted heads at times, and actually a lot of times, but you just never know how much, you're going to miss them until you you know, can't see them again. It's really sad. But yeah, life does go on. Um, I tell you what, she was the one person I would love to show my creations to. She lived with us for 15 years or so, and it was just always kind of fun. She didn't crochet, but she loved to be a cheerleader, and she was my biggest cheerleader, and I really do miss that about her. I can't talk about it too much because I don't want to go off the rails here. And we have Grace. She says, "Hello from a warm and sunny Pacific Northwest Washington State." Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the moms here. Thank you, Grace. Um, and Ann Butler says, "Hello, I'm late. Happy Friday, everyone from Northwest Indiana." Well, Ann, you missed all the drama. We had a hard time starting this morning. Some technical issues, but so glad you found us just right away. Um, and Kelly's asking where Hannah learned the Chinese language. Um, she may be using Google Translate on some of these languages in here, Kelly, but Hannah's actually studying Korean. She knows some Korean. She's learning to read and to write and to speak it a little bit. And she loves all sorts of things. She loves learning about that peninsula. And we've been there. Yay. We were able to go to Seoul. So anyway, okay, and Kelly wants to know if I have any suggestions on how much she should price the soap savers she's making. Kelly, I have no idea. It a lot of that kind of stuff at craft markets is hit or miss. It really depends on who is shopping, what their value system is, um, and what the market rate is. So I've tried selling those for like, I don't know, $5 at craft fairs and didn't sell many at all. So um, but if you have people who are looking for that and they attend the fair, they might buy everything you have. So it's a big, big, big hit or miss um, kind of a scenario for you there. So I don't know if you could get probably $5 or less would be my generic answer. Again, I would have to see how much skill is worked into the project. Um, but yeah, I don't believe I've ever sold them for more than $5. Of course, mine were very simple. And I didn't sell many. But anyway, I digress. Charla, so glad that you're with us. And Terry Redmond, um, she says, hello and warm wishes to all from May Gray in San Diego. Ooh, it's gray in San Diego? Really? Wow. It was always sunshiny when I was there. I guess that was back in 2019. It's been a while. And Darlene, you are so welcome. Thank you again for your gift. You and Terry both. Thank you so much for your kindness to our channel and to the charities that we support. And oh, Esther, so good to see you in the chat. I hope you're still here, Esther. I'm just now seeing your comment. She said, "Just stopping by for a moment before I go to work. Have a great day and weekend." Oh, thank you. I'll have to text her afterwards because I know she probably's already left. Oh, thank you, Sharon. She says, "Concerning the grandchildren, your heart will expand for sure." Yeah, thank you. I just don't want to be an anxious grandma, if you know what I mean. I just don't want to be a worry wart like people in my family from past decades have been. I just want to trust the Lord and enjoy every moment and not worry, worry, worry. All right. Oh, Lynn is in the chat. Hey, Lynn. So good to see you. A lot of things just loaded here, and I'm just seeing new names here. And she says, Sharon says, grandchildren expand your heart and your life in many ways. Yeah, I've heard people say that, if they could have had grandchildren first, they would have started at with grandchildren instead of having children, which is kind of funny. But I'm glad that I was able to have my children. I love them very much. Uh, they're all adults and living adult lives, but I still miss them. I miss them and love them very much. And that time went like that. For those of you who are on the younger end of the spectrum and are having your babies and your families, don't be in a hurry to get them out the door, because that time comes in an instant, and then what? Anyway, thank you for your comments, Hannah. I appreciate that. And Ann Butler says, so exciting when waiting for grandbabies to arrive. I have my second that can be here any day as soon as he is ready. Congratulations, Anne. That's so exciting. Yeah, it's really kind of weird too, because now they have tests that are kind of beyond a shadow of a doubt now, that they can find out the sex of a baby and everything. And which is, I guess, exciting for some. But when we had our children, we knew we could probably find out if we wanted to, but we chose to not wait. We were before the those parties they have now. They have birth announcements, and the reveal parties, I think is what they call them. And we didn't do stuff like that. We had to wait until we were in the hospital delivering the baby to find out. We could have found out from the ultrasound, but the ultrasounds had been wrong before, and I've got some fun stories about that. But we never wanted to know. In fact, I always told the doctors we don't want to know what we were having until we met them in the delivery room, which is the way it went for us, and it was fun. It was fun. It was pretty exciting. But it is exciting too that we know that we're going to be having two grandsons. So we're excited about that, and it does help to know to buy more blue and less pink. For now, yeah, we are traditionalists. I know guys can wear pink, but I don't think these boys are going to be found in pink. I promise. And Hannah's asking me to do a quick summary of the white project. Again, she said it was a bit blurry when I was talking about it before. I'll go ahead and review that, and then I'll probably have to move towards ending. But this is a panel, one of two panels that I've completed for the Inishir Poncho. No. Inishman Poncho. And this is going to be coming sometime early fall, probably late summer, early fall. It's a redesign. This is a pattern that I've had in my online pattern store for many years. I just felt like it needed an update. I updated the yarn, and I am using Berroco Vintage. This is a worsted weight yarn. It's called Berroco, Berroc. Well, anyway, Berroco Vintage. You can look that up. I'll try to put a video link for that in the video description. And it's a yarn that is 50% wool, 50% acrylic. It's extremely soft. And for those of you who want to try something with a little bit of wool that's not all 100% acrylic, this is a really nice yarn. It's very soft. It's nice to the skin. It's also economically priced. It's a very reliable yarn. I've used it for more than 12 years on various projects and have not been disappointed yet. So again, that'll be coming sometime early fall. And this is something else. I'm almost done with the writing. Actually, I finished writing the pattern. I'm just waiting for my editor to get this back to me. This is something coming to the channel soon. It is a very long stole. You can wear it as a wrap. You can do anything with it. Um, uh, you can use it as a scarf. You can use it, as a wrap, and you can do all sorts of things with it. This is a mohair silk blend, and I'm calling this the Aegean Waves Stole. And it was a lot of fun. If you don't want to make when this comes out, if you don't want to use mohair silk, you can use really any yarn you want because it's a stole. The size and gauge is really not that important. But I will say that if you make it out of mohair, and what's great about this is you can literally ball this up, stick it in your bag. It's extremely lightweight. Even though if you ball it up, if you block this, if you wet block it, it will retain its shape. It won't, unless you put it in a vacuum pack thing, that'll wrinkle it. But you can just kind of wad and wear, as my sister used to say, with this kind of material. If you take the time to block it, it's amazing what blocking will do. And I will have blocking information and directions in the video. Okay. And let's see. I just want to make sure we get to say hi to everybody in our chat. Oh, Terry says, so happy, Bonnie, for your family having a baby. Trust in the Lord. Lean not on your own understanding. He'll direct your path. Praying everything will be well. Thank you, Terry. Yeah, thanks for that reminder. I have to do that because I'm like more than going to be over 1,000 miles away from, or close to 1,000 miles away from both of them, and so they're in the same location, thankfully. So if I go down, to visit one, I can visit the other. So I'm really hoping we can be closer, but if, for the time being, I have no other option but to trust God since I'm so far away. And even if I was there, there's not a whole lot that I could do, except, anyway, be a helping hand. But God is very capable of doing many, many things there. And we have Laurie saying hello from Maryland. Hey, Laurie. I'll be going back up that way probably on Wednesday this coming week. Wow, Grace says, so great to have grandchildren. I now have 6 of them, all girls. Oh, how wonderful is that? Excuse me again. I have Sandra in the chat. Hey, Sandra, so good to see you in our live chat. Glad you made it here. Wishing everyone a happy Mother's Day for this weekend. We have Paula. Oh, thank you for your kind comments, Paula. She says she's working on the winter white throw. Yeah, that's a big one. That's one of the larger throws out there on my channel. Those were not the condensed ones for the yarn companies. These are real throws, yeah. And Jacqueline says, grandchildren are such a blessing. I have 7. My oldest granddaughter is on her way to college. Wow, you are blessed, my friend. That's amazing. Oh, thank you, Sandra, for the reminder of hitting that like button. And glad you like the poncho, Kelly. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Thank you that you could made it. She says, I just made it. Are you okay? I see people sending prayers. Just asking for prayers for my girls, Laurie, my daughter and my daughter-in-law, who are expecting babies at the end of the summer. Okay. Well, I think I've pretty much, I hope I've greeted everybody. Thank you, Shelley Smith, for your comment. I appreciate that. Let me see. Pat Dancer. Okay. I don't know if I've said hi to you, but I'm saying hi. And let's see. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to just go ahead. Oh, okay. Go Baby 23 says, I cannot wait for the granny square, especially the full square. Also keeping it from going wonky. I have to tell you something. I don't have it to show you, but in a few weeks, I have a brand new project coming that is granny square based. It's very summery, and I think you guys are going to really like it. And it's totally practical. That's all I'm going to say, but it's coming soon. And Kelly, it might be something that you would want to put on your crafting table. Something that you can make quickly, easily, and I think you're going to like it. And Josie wants to know if I can recommend one of my patterns that is a smaller lap blanket. I have, it depends on what you're looking for, Josie. I do have um, the glazed pecan lap blanket. There is a lot of cabling in that, but it is a smaller lap blanket. I believe there's a ripple blanket. I think it's Emily's wave blanket, and I know that there are some others. If you go to my channel and if you go to the search bar where that little search spyglass is, and then put lap blanket, and that should bring up the lap blankets that are available on my channel. I know there are a few others. I know there's the basket weave lap blanket, which you can make with smaller yarn than the thicker yarn that I used. That one is a good one, I think. But it really depends again on what you're looking for. All right. Oh wow, Barbara. Barbara says, please pray for me. I have surgery on Monday, although it's routine for me. This time around, they'll be putting me to sleep. When they do this, I tend to have, I'm guessing that's like a bad reaction. Okay, Barbara. Let me write that down. Give me a second here, because I do keep track of this in a list. I'm going to put you at the top so that I can do that. Okay, so that's on Monday. Okay, I got you on the list. And Swati says, updates from me on a personal front. Neurologist appointment went well last week, and today I follow up with somebody else. Pulmonologist. Wow. Good news is the doctor said I won't ever not be able to use my hands. That not word is very good. And that's amazing, Swati. Thank you. I praise God. I will continue to pray for you. Just pray that they can even find a cure for some of these muscular dystrophies and other types of muscular problems. Thanks for letting us know that. And Josie says, I agree that you never know how much you'll miss your mom until she's gone. I lost my mom at 17 and still miss her every day, 10 years later. Wow. That is a rough time to miss your mom, to lose your mom, Josie. I am so sorry about that. Yeah, it does make you thankful, though. I mean, that's the thing, is whenever we suffer, I feel like it makes us so thankful in so many other ways that we didn't even give it a thought before. But yeah. All right, we have Susie D in the chat. Hey, Susie. Well, it is a little bit after one. Let me see. Is anybody else? Okay. Oh, sure, Barbara. I wish you the best. And this is Aisha. Says, hi everyone. I'm now working on a second basket weave diamond throw using the Pound of Love. That's good yarn and antique white. And the stitch definition is on point with this yarn in this pattern. Yeah, I used that yarn for a lot of the designs in the Aran Afghans, the one right here. That was one of my favorite yarns because I could get like 5 or 6 of these things and have an entire throw, and the dye lot was never a problem because that's the no dye lot yarn. It's all the same. So that was quite helpful. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying those, Aisha. Oh, thank you for your prayers, Go Baby 23, for Barbara. That is so sweet. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I need to let Hannah be released, and I need to let you guys release. We lost about 10 minutes today with technical issues at the beginning. But I'm going to try to get through this reading. It's one of my favorite songs. It's from a Christian artist, some of you may be familiar with. His name is Michael Card, and I remember seeing him in concert back in the 80s, um, before I was even married. And I've got just about all of his music. It's just so wonderful. Um, then I'm going to read you this because I commented to Hannah this week, and she's the one who inspired me to get the words to this song to share with you today. Because I told her, I said, yeah, I just feel like I've been in the wilderness for a while, living in two different places over time, just just traveling a lot, to care for others, which I love doing. This is not a complaint at all, but sometimes, if you're not all in one place, you feel like you're kind of part here and part there, and you're not wholly any, as in WHOLLY. You're not completely in any one place, so it's hard to feel knit into a community, if that makes sense. But that just kind of describes the season of my life, and I think of Hannah's life to some extent right now. And Hannah said, "Yeah, Mom, it's just like Michael Card's song." And so I looked it up, and it was such a great reminder to me of, but that it's okay. And I know some of you just hearing about, Barbara going through surgery, and people losing their moms, and just, life happens and it doesn't stop. But and it's sometimes, we can wonder if there's a purpose in it, but there is. And I was just reminded of that through this song. I'm going to try to read these words, and I will put the link to this song in the video description so you can hear Michael Card sing it for yourself, because it's a beautiful song. Okay, it's called In the Wilderness by Michael Card. In the wilderness, he calls his sons and daughters to the wilderness. But he gives grace sufficient to survive any test. And that's the painful purpose of the wilderness. In the wilderness we wander, in the wilderness we weep. In the wasteland of our wanting, where the darkness seems so deep, we search for the beginning, for an exodus to hold. We find that those who follow him must often walk alone. In the wilderness, he calls his sons and daughters to the wilderness, but he gives grace sufficient to survive any test, and that's the painful purpose of the wilderness. In the wilderness, we're wandering for a way to understand. In the wilderness, there's not a way, for the ways become a man, and the man's become the exodus, the way to holy ground. And wandering in the wilderness is the best way to be found. Growing and growing amidst the desert days, the windy winter wilderness can blow the self away. In the wilderness, he calls us his sons and daughters to the wilderness, but he gives grace sufficient to survive any test. And that's the painful purpose of the wilderness. Whew. I love this song. Sorry guys. Love this great guy, and he just nailed it for us. So anyway, happy tears, I promise you. I knew this would happen. Okay. You guys have a fantastic week, and I look forward to broadcasting next week from Gaithersburg, Maryland. God bless. Bye-bye.